So my background is I'm actually a management student, and then I really got into social change leadership, and I looked at the so-called refugee crisis, and I was like, "Oh, why is this going on, and how crazy is it that the same thing is repeating itself? You know, when I grew up in Germany, my parents fled to Germany actually from Iran. So when I was working with migrants and refugees, I was like, okay, they're going through the same things that I was going through when I was a kid. So you know, it's repeating itself. How can we change that? So I tried to come up with innovative solutions to do that, especially by involving the community. So by thinking, okay, let's not only focus on newcomers, but let's try to think of a solution where the whole community in a specific area is involved. And that's why it's so crucial to get everybody involved, to also impact everybody in the community. And the whole point about doing it with a cafe is that it's financially self-sufficient, so that you don't have to continuously ask for grants. A lot of organizations around Europe, they keep asking every 6 months. They have to renew a lot of the funds. So we thought it's a great idea if you can have the whole community think of something, build it up together, inventorize what they need to do, and then keep it running without us for a longer period of time. So to give you a similar example of what we were trying to do is you just organize a huge event. So like a huge party, biggest party around the block, of course. You give people food, you give them some entertainment, you give them music, and people come for that. But what they stay for is the connection, the human interaction. And that's how you find the key people, right? That's how you find people who are really interested in setting these enterprises up together. And through that you have like these small group of people that would barely fit into this room, and those are the drivers. They get other people involved in their respective networks. That's how you get all the different locals involved that might be dubious, thinking about why should I do this with migrants or refugees, but they will vouch for them. So that's how you create social cohesion, and that's how you create a fantastic team from the get-go, and start to get that process going. So the situation for refugees in Croatia is actually really quite terrible. There are small so-called welcome centers, asylum seeker centers in Croatia. I visited one with my team, and it's shameful that we allow humans to stay in such conditions. It's an old hotel which is tiny. And rooms have to be shared with multiple people. Just being present in that building, you certainly leave with psychological damage afterwards. Access is very limited, so the government there finds it hard to cooperate with NGOs, etc. So there's a lot of push and pull going on there. It's really at the very beginning of a good integration procedure. So right now people are just receiving housing and very, very basic needs. But when you compare it, for instance, to the Netherlands, we've taken care of housing, of medical, of psychological, we've taken care of employment, which is not going well, but that's the thing we're focusing on right now, right? So it's much more humane, it's much more focused on empowerment, whereas in Croatia you're really at the very, very starting point, and so is the government. So that's something we really need to work on. Right. So the idea about the courses for the bistro was that you get this sort of fantastic intercultural community center in the middle of town, where everybody can gather. So where all of these, you have so many different NGOs these days. Everybody's working on something on their own little private island, and we've experienced that that's very inefficient. So we need to get all of those people together. We need to get courses started. We need to get communication started from a business perspective, but also for the people in the community. So it's really a needs perspective. So like, is it something you want to do? Okay, how can we organize that, right? And that's from where it grows both for the community and for the NGOs, etc. Because they're also, you have diverse services, but their experiences, they are currently experiencing the same growth issues that you had in the Netherlands a couple of years ago, which we experienced. So now we can advise on how to, prevent that. Yeah. So in terms of the social challenges platform, it has helped us enormously to get this whole thing going, right? Because in Croatia, you don't have, this is a non-issue in Croatia. So they don't have a refugee problem in Croatia. So there are no funds available. NGOs that we work with have a very tough time staying afloat, and they have an immense workload. So I have huge amounts of respect for those people. Um, and so social challenges is really fantastic because it gave us the partners, the knowledge, and of course the financing to get this project off the ground, which I really think wouldn't have happened. Also the connection between Eastern European countries and Western European countries. They're hard. Sometimes it's odd. We can't find each other. So giving that connection is a major I think bonus for all of us. Yeah.